Let's figure out what gut disease you have. So if you have diarrhea and it's green, yellow, biley, bubbly, and it burns when it comes out, this is actually your gallbladder and pancreas going in and out of overdrive. When it goes into overdrive, it dumps all of its bile into the small intestine, and it's very irritating. So what your intestines do is it contracts all the muscles to get it out of you as fast as possible, because it's going to damage your intestines if it doesn't get it out really fast. What's the biological purpose of diarrhea? It's to get rid of crap, to get rid of toxins as fast as possible, whether it be something real like bile or something imaginary like a crappy boss or a crappy boyfriend or girlfriend or family member. They're a piece of crap and I can't get rid of them. How do you know if you have Crohn's disease? That's what I was diagnosed with, but the vast majority of my symptoms were coming from my gallbladder going in and out of overdrive. I've helped many people recover from all sorts of gut issues, even when undiagnosed, with my 13-day protocol. My webinar is a free instant version of this. Now, Crohn's disease has this definition of inflammation anywhere from mouth to butthole, but it normally gets diagnosed when someone finds inflammation in the last part of the small intestine. And now this is a hard area to see. You can't see it with a colonoscopy, or sometimes you can just a little bit. So they usually diagnose this with an MRI. I know those two terms don't match up, but that's just what GI doctors do. And now what's happening in the small intestine, it's what is something I couldn't absorb and I was angry and frustrated about it. Only flat growths can grow in the small intestine and they aid with absorption. Now during the conflict active phase, I can't absorb my girlfriend, I can't absorb her. There are bacteria and fungi growing with the cell growth. It depends on the intensity and the length of the conflict, how much bacteria and fungi are going to grow and how big these growths are going to get. These bacteria and fungi aren't active at the time. Now, when this gets resolved, the body will get rid of these extra gut cells with the help of bacteria and fungi. That is why somebody with SIBO can have high bacteria levels and not have symptoms, and another person will have high bacteria levels and they'll have lots of symptoms. So things like SIBO, Candida, E. coli, C. diff, this is just somebody that resolved their conflict and the body is getting rid of these extra gut cells. Now this process just keeps going on and on and on, on and on and on, when the conflict is constantly on, off, and there's a lot of PTSD triggers putting the gut in and out of overdrive, in and out of overdrive. Now in the large intestine, there can be flat growths or cauliflower growths. And these cauliflower growths have been tested and they produce extra digestive juices. So for the colon, when somebody has a lot of polyps, it's what is crap I couldn't break down and get rid of. When somebody has a lot of flat growths, it's going to be what was something important to my survival I could not absorb. Now somebody will be constipated and bloated when someone has this attitude towards the conflict of, oh, I wanted to hold on and suck all the value out of my girlfriend, but I couldn't. I'm trying to hold on to this person, or I'm trying to hold on to the money, but I can't. And they're sad and depressed about it. Versus diarrhea, it's this crap we want to get rid of, and they're usually angry and frustrated. Notice how it's like this common theme with the autonomic nervous system. Fight or flight, get rid of, and then there's freeze. Fearful and freeze, and we're holding on to it. Now somebody will get diagnosed with IBS when they do a colonoscopy and they do an MRI and they don't see any inflammation anywhere. Colitis gets diagnosed when they do a colonoscopy and they look around and they're looking for inflammation. Diverticulitis is just a more intense case of colitis. It's just been going on for a very long time. Again, diagnosed with a colonoscopy. Now when these extra gut cells are getting removed, a lot of blood and mucus is involved in the process. And we can get blood or mucus in the stool. Somebody will have a pencil stool when the whole entire colon is inflamed, and normally down here because the stool starts to form right here. So maybe there is a growth that is, blocking things like that, or the whole entire colon is inflamed, making it a pencil stool. When these extra gut cells are getting removed, somebody could just have normal diarrhea as well. Or when there's a lot of gut cells being removed, especially when it's close to the end of the colon, there could be a lot of blood. I go over this in much more detail in my free webinar, which is a mini version of my 13-day protocol. If I had to heal my gut all over again, this is exactly what I would do.